Well, Labor Day is upon us, and before you get started on your leisurely 3-day weekend, it's time for a little history. Labor Day was first celebrated in New York City 140 years ago in 1882. Workers in this period, known as the Gilded Age, created Labor Day to call attention to their declining economic status. They were upset that in this period of unprecedented economic expansion, they were barely able to make ends meet. Greedy employers and robber barons had used their power to rig the economic system to make themselves fabulously rich, while their workers toiled for starvation wages. So, workers in New York City created Labor Day to call attention to this injustice. On September 5, 1882, thousands of workers turned out for the first ever Labor Day parade. As they walked, workers held signs that read, "Labor built this republic, labor shall rule it. All men are created equal. Less work and more pay." The parade was followed by a huge picnic in a Manhattan park. By 1886, Labor Day had become a huge national event, with thousands of workers marching in New York, Boston, Chicago, and many other cities. The following year, 5 states made Labor Day a holiday for state workers, and several more states did so in the coming years. And then in 1894, President Grover Cleveland signed into law a measure that created Labor Day as a holiday for federal workers. For decades into the 20th century, Labor Day festivities and parades remained focused on workers' rights and on the importance of unions. But since 1980, the labor movement has been pummeled by big business and their conservative political allies. As a consequence, there are very few Labor Day parades in America anymore, and the main focus of Labor Day weekend seems to be leisure. Yet, that could change. A recent poll indicated that 70% of Americans favor unions, and that's way up from polls, say, 10 or 20 years ago. Will Labor Day return to its roots and once again become a celebration of the American worker and the need to adopt policies to ensure that workers enjoy the fruits of their labor and a decent living? That's up to you and me.